But when it came to rhythm, we would be going this way, and he would be going this way. And it was so funny. We like sometimes I was next to him, and I would grab his shirt and, and push him. Like, come on, kid. Oh well, guess that wasn't funny either.
This week on Positively Godless.
Oh,
Well, that was no.
no.
Come on, coming through the. Never mind.
God, you're dumb.
This week on Positively Godless. Oh, we talk about Thanksgiving. We talk about what else do we talk about? I forgot. I guess you'll just have to keep watching to find out.
Planned Parenthood and Josh Fierstein's what we talk about.
Just ruined it.
Well, we got to. How did I ruin it?
Crazy! Over, under, feeling crazy! It was no wonder, you're just making me crazy!
Freaking borked. So, I don't know. Anyway.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Positively Godless.
Why does he always get to do the intros now?
Because I'm the quickest one.
Ever.
That's true. That's true.
How you doing tonight?
I'm one of your three co-hosts, Scott Lawrence, joined by Tyler Ender, and just Jerry. Hi, Gavin.
Tyler Scott.
Other way.
Nah,
Uh-huh.
you're on my left. Yeah, because I switched you on the screen, so now I can see you're on.
Not when it airs,
Nope.
Jerry.
No, you're going to see on Sunday. You're wrong.
Okay, well, I'm saying Tyler Scott.
Nope. Nope.
Or Tyler Scott.
Oh, you froze.
Or which? Well, some people like to go this way.
How's everybody doing?
We are
And
fine.
How was
Times
your
that way is
Thanksgiving?
Awful.
Why?
I had the flu.
Did you have bird flu?
I had some sort of flu. We had the flu. It was death
I get
in our
it,
house.
but good job. Good job, Jerry.
God. That was dumb.
I had like this much turkey. Why do I keep freezing?
There you go.
I had like this much turkey.
Oh, that's a lot.
And then I had like this much mac and cheese. My stepmom makes like banging mac and cheese.
Banging.
And she uses like the spiral noodles. And there's like 10 different cheeses in there. And
Is it like
bacon.
Is it like the Patty LaBelle mac and cheese?
No.
I want to try that pie, by the way.
I mean, good luck trying to get some.
I know.
Did you see that, Tyler?
Oh, that video?
You didn't see that video of that guy with Patty LaBelle's sweet potato pie?
I don't have any
it's
idea
so
what
funny.
you guys
Oh,
are
it's
talking about.
Give it up for Patty LaBelle, honey.
On
Patty!
my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was funny. I watched the video. It was definitely worth the 3 minutes to watch that video. And because of that video, the pie sold out.
Yeah.
You couldn't get it anywhere. I don't know if you still can. I don't know. But
Probably.
Our viewers don't want to hear about Patty LaBelle's pie. I did a joke and I didn't even try. And now I'm I don't even know it.
Boy.
Just to fill everybody in before we started, I went on this like 3-minute laughing fit for no reason. So who knows what's gonna happen
In the blooper reel.
in this episode.
That's at the end of the show.
No, he's warning about what may happen throughout the episode.
Oh,
Who knows? Tyler, how was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was fantastic. So, I spent it completely flu-free because I take care of my body and...
I take care of my body, too.
Okay.
Tyler drinks water.
I
drinking water
love
right
my
here.
water.
I have water right here.
Only because I yelled at you while Tyler was having technical difficulties.
That's true.
And that's a glass full of ice.
It's water in here, and ice is water.
Ice is ice. It's frozen water, but it's not water.
That's because my wife touched it, because she's Elsa. And she's the queen. Facebook.com/positivelygodless, YouTube.com/positivelygodless, Twitter at @pgodless, and if you want to email us, which you never ever do, which I wish you would, at positivelygodless@gmail.com.
Or you could email me at justjerry@gmail.com.
Or
Don't email me.
you can email Scott at
Yeah.
You can call Scott at
612. No, actually, I don't even know your number by heart. I'd have to
Yeah,
look
you
it
do.
up. No, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
I don't
You
know
should.
it by heart. I go on my phone and I press your name. I don't
Yeah, that's what I
don't
do too.
memorize anybody's phone number anymore.
You know how, like, on my phone, real quick before
Before people more?
comes in. So I have my husband programmed in as my love,
Oh.
and on my phone, because it's Android, you can just dial, like, you remember the T9 texting, where you would just
Yes.
press the letter or the number one time for each letter. So when I want to call my husband, it goes MY. See what that is?
Okay. Edit the number, because the number's showing up. Now, Tyler, you have to edit the number.
Yes, I do.
Oh, I'm sorry, but it's 69. And I have to dial 69 to call my husband.
Thank you.
And I have to dial 666 to call my mom.
Oh.
Because MOM is 666.
Hi, Muffin.
Hi, Muffin.
Hi, Chocolate Chip.
Oh, she's gone now.
My favorite Martian. That is all.
Yeah, Christopher Mahdi. Great guy.
That was a funny comment. Funny comment. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. I really don't.
Yeah, you got the
Maybe
giggles.
you shouldn't be the one reading the comments if you're going to burst out into giggles.
I don't know what this one is about because I don't remember this person's comment on the.
Oh, Brian W?
Yeah,
I don't remember it either.
I don't remember. Well, somebody's got to remember it. There were so many comments on the JD Kane and Matt Slick episode.
And they're still coming in.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
But Brian says, my apologies on my comment made on last week's episode. I kind of commented something along the lines of you guys, I guess us, exploiting this person who is going through mental illness. Oh, no, that was when we were talking about Alex Botten.
Yeah.
It was later removed by me after I realized I was being overly sensitive and perhaps, well, most definitely passive-aggressive. The response here in this episode was really heartfelt, and that speaks to the uniqueness of your show and good nature in your characters. I do disagree with some points that were brought up towards the end of the show. However, comparing Christianity to Islam, one religion has been reformed and the other is still largely conducting itself with 8th century values. Don't get me wrong, there are some horrible things done to people here in the US and around the world because of Christianity, but to me, the majority of these acts are roadblocks we are fighting and making positive progress towards across the spectrum. While in areas in the Middle East, this conversation cannot even begin because of the fear of being killed. Just my 2 cents. So
That was cool.
Yeah,
that's probably why I didn't see it.
that's
So
because he deleted it. So let me respond real quick to the first part. Thank you for recognizing our apology and how we felt about how we did on the previous episode. However, there are some who then proceeded to call us some explicative terms on the internet. Again, we won't mention names, but some people didn't want to mend the fences, whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
I'll get to it.
Anyway,
I was just going to ask if Scott had anything to say about that.
yeah. Do you want to?
I'll read a comment.
Okay.
Finally listened to the last 2 Positively Godless episodes after it was suggested that I do. What a bunch of sniggering, useless C words. In one episode, they call me a douchebag, a stinky Brit who doesn't shower, and repeatedly suggest that I have mental health issues that render my opinions meaningless. Then they follow up with a rather insincere apology for not representing their podcast the best that they can. I'm sorry, but you guys effing suck at making podcasts. Your show is 3 F-wads giggling at each other. For no wonder no one watches it. Thank you.
That is all.
That is all. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Tyler?
You know, we did our best, and sorry, it wasn't good enough.
You can
The only
please
thing-
some of the people all the time. You can please all of the people some of the time, but you can't please all the people all the time.
That's true.
What are you going
Go
to say,
ahead, Tyler.
Tyler?
The only thing that I'm going to say that was particularly reaffirmed after that comment is going back to what I said last episode about the previous one where we weren't so positive about things, is I am sticking with my Trumpism and I'm not apologizing. And I'm glad that I didn't apologize last episode, because
Comments like that.
comments like that.
Right.
So,
Well, we knew that our apology wouldn't be received well by the person or that person. And I wasn't necessarily apologizing to anybody. I was just apologizing
Right.
for...
You know, and I think I was definitely trying to mend fences. I mean, I really did my best, but you know, again, like you said, you can't please everybody. So fine. You know, I guess we'll see you next episode. Hope you watch it. You know, comment if you will.
And we're not going to make friends with everybody.
No, of course not.
My one of my favorites, K-Tap. I was a little upset.
Yeah, this was interesting.
initially from the comment.
I can see you, Tyler, and I don't care.
Oh, I didn't see what he was doing because
He's putting pens or something like that
doing the
above
My
it.
Favorite Martian again, because Scott has
I
freaking antennae.
wish.
I have one antenna because you can't see the other one.
I wish it
Go ahead.
wasn't. I wish that wasn't copyrighted. I think you guys should change your show, and here's why. Well, let me clarify. I think you should change you should change if in bold letters you want to. It's your show, and you can do whatever you want. If you want to keep doing what you're doing, but add in debates, do it. If you want to become a predominantly debate show, do it. If you want to become a Twilight talk show, do it. I'll probably unsubscribe, but do it if that's what you want to do. So I was like, what? Why are you going to unsubscribe? K-Tap, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
And he said if we became a Twilight talk show, he would unsubscribe.
I don't even know what
There
that
was a-
is.
Twilight, the movie, Edward Cullen, and you know.
I only know Dawson, Joey, Pacey, and Jen.
Oh, so you're so gay. He said it was a joke. You know, saying Twilight talk show. It wasn't a bad one. I thought that's what you meant, so it wasn't a bad one or a bad example. But I only saw one of the movies, and I wasn't really impressed. And I never saw any of the next 4, or 3, or whatever it was. So there's that. And finally, head case. I like Scott's antenna. I vote to leave it as it is.
Oh, head case. You're letting me down here.
I still am going to fly to Minnesota and rip it down. I am saddened by the events that occurred in France, but I hear nothing about the thousands of Muslims they have killed in the Middle East. I hear no outcry over the wives and daughters kidnapped and sold into slavery. What happened in France happens every day over there. That's what these refugees are trying to escape from. Now, for people to step up and use the events in France to condemn those refugees trying to escape sickens me. What's the phrase on the Statue of Liberty? Give me your poor, your tired, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Yeah, I mean, I agree. And, I mean, that happens every day, somewhere every day it happens. And, that's, I think, the thing that, I mean, I wasn't most upset about, that they're trying to, ban refugees who are Muslim. That's not, it would make me upset that they were doing that, but it had not, it wasn't the France thing that was the example for that, if you might say. But I did hear that something like recently, very recently, within the last week, that like 132, I think, or 100 and some odd refugees, Syrian refugees, I don't know if they were the Syrian refugees or whatever, came into our country, and all of them were Shiite. Is that a thing?
You can't swear on the show, Jerry.
Really, Scott?
Sorry.
Come on, Scott.
Is Shiite Muslim? Are they kind of synonymous?
know.
I'm not 100, but I know that they weren't Christians. We don't need any more of them.
Positively godless.
Is that it, Jerry?
That's all the comments. Yeah, that's all I have.
I have one more thing I want to say. I just think it's kind of funny about how many episodes ago I remember asking Jerry, was it more difficult for you to come out as gay or as a non-believer? He says obviously gay. So at work, we have multiple branches that we deal with, and I was talking to somebody who I help out at another branch in a separate city in Minneapolis, and we're talking about one of the customers, and then she sends me this email, and she says, "Hey, do you got Facebook?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm trying to find you." I'm like, "Yeah, just first last name, whatever." And then 5 minutes later, she's like, "Are you positively godless?" And I said, "Yep, that's me." Interesting. No friend request. I thought that was kind of weird. I thought the story was really much better in my head, but it was so good in my head, and I thought the delivery felt short.
Why couldn't that be the blooper?
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, it still can. You're the editor.
No, I'm not surprised by that.
I just thought it was, not rude, but it's so funny how it's so silly. It's like me saying and I'm not a football fan. I'm just trying to use an example, like saying that let's say I was a Packer fan, and I came out as a Packer fan, and I have no idea. And Tyler's a Vikings fan. It's just like I can't speak with you. It's so silly to me with that. I can't associate with you.
People are like that. You're surprised by that?
Well, I'm not surprised. I think it's just more disappointing than anything that
Why? What personal investment do you have in this particular person?
None, but it's the judgment that when we look at people who are Christian, we don't care. It doesn't bother us, because we have other things to talk about, than that. But the minute you don't believe, I don't have anything in common with you. It's really weird.
But the thing is,
would be more on point if you were, like a better comparison would be if you were saying, like, that same person wanting or asking to friend you, but then finding out before friending you that you're a Muslim, and then she didn't friend you.
Sure.
It's that same kind of thing. Religion, no religion, or of a different religion, and it's all petty.
Yeah, last night I talked to Matt Slick and another guy for about 2 hours, and we laughed our butts off and just had a great old time. We set aside those differences and we just laughed. It was great, and that's the type of relationships that I want to build with people. Just like me for who I am, not for what you believe.
Well, the thing is, though, you said something about being judged, but the thing is, everybody, we all do it. We
Oh,
all
yeah.
judge everybody else for something. For their hairstyle, for their choice in clothing, for the car that they drive, and I'll admit it right now. Sorry to any of our her friends. What are we, the nanny? Um,
Nanny is a TV show, Tyler, that came
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Keep going, Jerry.
sorry to any of our fans who drive BMWs, but from my experience, when I see a BMW on the road, I automatically think that the driver is a D-bag. Why? Because they drive like D-bags.
I'm going to buy a BMW.
I know you're a D-bag. You don't have
Oh,
to buy a BMW to prove it.
No, you've already got a Prius.
So,
that's true.
yeah. Well, what was that South Park episode where everybody was like with their Priuses? Um, I mean, I don't think that personally, like that the person's, it's just a judgment that I make about the car and the kind of people who drive them.
Yeah.
We all make judgments based on something.
We've all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, too.
And Jesus Christ.
Oh, gosh. Moving right along. So we do have two topics that we're going to tackle this evening for you. I don't know which one to go first with. Why don't you two pick?
I forget what they were. Oh.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one.
Wow.
I know. I knew the first one was going to be the idiot anti-abortion.
Yeah. Well, let's get him out of the way. Let's talk about.
Let me ask you a question first.
Sure.
Let me see if I can do this right, because I heard this and I thought it was really, 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 really good. So there's the debate going on about this guy and what he did and why he did it, and we all know that the Christian right wing is anti-abortion. They're so completely opposed to it. So my favorite radio show host was talking about this the other day.
Is the guy that writes for HuffPo?
Yeah, Michelangelo Signorelli. And people were calling into the show, and he was asking them, you believe abortion is murder, right? If you believe abortion is, and if you see somebody killing somebody else, don't you think you should stop it? And they would say yes. So then he goes, well, why isn't it okay to kill abortion doctors?
Ooh.
He wasn't advocating for killing abortion doctors.
Okay.
What he was doing was trying to bring their logic around full circle. If you think it's not okay to kill somebody on the street, and you would kill the person that's trying to kill the other person, the murderer, and you think abortion is murder, and the abortion doctors are the murderers, why wouldn't you go kill them? And they're like, well, that's wrong. So, the whole thing, it made no logical sense because, they couldn't tie it up together. Do you follow what I'm saying? Like, they were just like, well, abortion is murder. But he would say, well, why isn't it okay then to kill the abortion doctors? Well, it's just wrong to kill them. It was just, I don't know if it's...
Yeah. With these two topics that we have, because they really coincide very closely to one another. So I guess we can... Let's probably start with the Planned Parenthood tragedy that happened a week and a half ago. What's the date of it?
this past Friday.
Past Friday. I'm sorry. Okay,
The day
past
after
Friday.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, sorry. My apologies. So
It's okay. You were sick with the bird flu.
I was sick with the bird flu. Yeah. Um, but here's what we know. You know, the guy obviously has some mental issues. But we also know that the guy is a follower of Jesus. Um, what we also found out is that the clinic that he shut up, they don't perform abortions there. That's a regular clinic where for preventative care for women and men, you know, as well. So that's what we know thus far. Um,
Oh, there's
his
a lot more that we know about him. I don't
oh
know if
right,
you know about it, but he had been. I mean, like, he had been like his one of his ex-wives called the cops. He was, abusing her. Domestic violence. He was caught peeping on neighbors. He's been a philanderer. He's just got all kinds of crazy, like, criminal activity on his record. And a totally separate topic, which we're not going to go, down that road, but had there been standardized checks, this man would have never been able to legally own a gun.
was he? Did he own a gun legally? I guess is my next
I'm
question.
sure he did because he's a right-wing Christian.
Yeah, well, that's a little. No, we don't want to
I'm
address.
Yeah.
sorry, am I not being positively
Well, no,
godless
we don't need.
again?
No,
No, I'm not
we can
saying
be.
that all right-wing Christians are.
No, I mean we're not changing the format just because people's comments. I just want to make that clear. We're not going to tiptoe around anything. Just because that's our title, we're not tiptoeing around anything. So I'm just going to make that clear. If you don't like it, tough.
I got it.
Get your own damn show. Um, but what else we know about the outside of his house is that he had a cross on there on the outside, which I thought was interesting. But what's funny, we don't hear a lot unless you both have from the right wing talking about this individual at all.
The presidential candidates were saying something like all the right candidates were saying. I mean, like, I haven't really followed it, but they weren't condemning him for this.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Um, yeah, they weren't condemning him for it. One candidate was being stupid, like usual, but yeah, I mean they weren't condemning. Were they making excuses in a sense, like hidden excuses, or like just kind of like, oh, he's mentally ill, let's pray for him. Which I want to bring that thing up to, but anyway,
Was that that wasn't in Oregon, right? No,
no, I was in Colorado, I think.
I'm
Yeah, I
just
was in Colorado.
putting, like, a little on them.
Tyler, thoughts real quick while Jerry's looking that up, and I'm looking something else up.
Taking a look at what the several Republican candidates on Sunday condemned the attack.
I was just picking up that same thing up. Go ahead.
Yeah. Are you looking at the one in the Washington Post?
Yep.
Okay.
So I stand corrected. They did condemn him, but they were not saying that their speech was
Right. Well, at the same time,
a catalyst.
right? Like, Carly Fiorina, or however you pronounce her name, was condemning it, but also saying that the way that the media is painting this guy is typical left-wing tactics. And then still going into saying, well, the vast majority of Americans agree what Planned Parenthood is doing is wrong, and taking the focus off of the tragedy that happened. Trump called the shooter a, quote, sick person, and said that this was an extremist, and this was a man who they said prior to this was mentally disturbed. So he's a mentally disturbed person. There's no question about that. Thanks for adding the obvious there, Trump. Carson
rant.
called it extremism. So yeah, there was.
Here's what's funny. Not funny at all. I think this is really, really sad and sick. When you have a Muslim person or persons who do harm to other people, it's a lot of the right wing Christians or just some of the extreme Christians. I'm not going to even go right wing, left wing on this. Say, see, it's all Muslims. It's all Muslims. The second that some psychopath who has a cross on their trailer home and is a follower of Jesus goes on a killing rampage at a Planned Parenthood,
Then he's
they're just
immediately
mentally disturbed. That's sick and wrong. If you're going to go ahead and be bigoted toward one religious culture, then you might as well do it to the other too.
They're not
It's
going to do
pot-
it to themselves.
It's the pot calling the kettle black, and that's what really ticks me off really about this type of story. I wish somebody, I wish a Christian radio host or a TV personality or somebody would say in a situation like this, what do people think of us? You know what I mean? It's just that bothers me, I think, the most.
What bothers me is that, they won't own up to the fact that the things that they say incite this violence. It's just if they weren't going around talking and making up lies. I mean, those videos that people are still talking about, the guy who made the videos came out and said that they were fabricated, that they're not true, that they're all lies. And
Which guy
Carly,
that made the videos?
what?
The guy that made the videos. What videos?
the Planned Parenthood
The Planned
videos.
Parenthood
okay.
videos.
Oh yeah. The doctored ones. Sorry.
Carly Fiorina last week was saying that they were, babies were being born live, and then that they're live births instead of abortions. Well, I don't know much about pregnancy because I can't get pregnant. I've never had a child, but I'm pretty sure that abortion is not legal if the child is
Third
able
trimester.
to survive outside of the womb on its own.
I think it's third trimester, right? Or
It depends upon what state you're in.
So you can
As
have an
to-
abortion up until you're 6 months pregnant.
depends what state you're in, and I don't
Depends
agree
on
with
what
that, by the
state.
way.
Yeah.
And just for the record, I don't agree with that at all. Late term abortions, I do not agree with.
Well, I mean, if there's a risk to the mother's and the mother's going to die.
Well, what do you consider? What do you consider late term?
Well, I mean that 6 month is really late term.
Okay, what
Sure.
about 5 months?
That's late term too.
What about 4 months?
Then you're on the cusp. Really, I mean,
What about 4 months?
Then I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you were the person making the decision, yes or no, would you say yes or you'd say no to 5 months? Would you say yes or no to 4 months?
I don't know what I'd say, honestly.
Would you say yes or no to 3 months?
I'd probably say yes.
Okay. What about 3.5 months?
Where are you going with this?
Just trying to gauge.
I don't know.
It's,
I don't know. It's tough. I know. It's really a tough thing. And who am I talking to? Am I talking to the mother? Am I talking to publicly?
Well, I mean, you just said that.
What office are you running for now? Why do you have to censor what it is that you're saying to a
No. I haven't
group?
made the announcement yet. Just bear with me.
Wow. Well, I mean, technically the elections aren't for another 11 months, so you've got a little
I
bit of
have.
time
You've got
left.
time.
I got the time. But no, it's
All I'm saying is that it's a slippery slope. You know,
Yeah,
it's like somebody turning 18 or 21, and you know, and let's just say like 21 for drinking as an example. Like, okay, 21 is that magical day that all of a sudden you can go out and you can just get completely wasted at the bar legally. You know, what is so different from that person that's 20 years and 364 days from that moment that they're 21?
well,
You know?
legality. I mean, that's the only thing.
Yeah, but what is it? His question is, what is it that says automatically, magically at 21 years old, you're more responsible to control and consume alcohol than
Right.
you were at 20?
Or 5 years earlier than that,
Right.
you're able to go and get a
And
license to drive a 1-ton murder machine on a
Right.
freeway.
a 16-year-old, most states, yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
that
but
can't put their damn cell phones down.
right. But yet you can't have a drop of alcohol. That's it.
Until
But
you're 21.
the whole
And at
point
18,
is
you can pick the people who are running the country.
right.
Yeah.
And go die for your country,
Yeah.
but you still can't have a drop of alcohol.
And you
But
and at
And then
least in my
25 insurance rate goes down.
Sure, great.
if you're lucky, mine didn't go down until I was like 34.
That's because of all your tickets. But in any case,
It's
my
because I didn't
point
know how to
is
shop around.
okay. So you know you are against somebody having an abortion at 6 months old, or
I'm
I mean,
not
6
against.
months
Well,
along.
I shouldn't say. Maybe against is a strong word. I'm not comfortable with it. I think it
Okay.
bothers me. Just because the child
But
is
what
able to survive out of the womb.
When
they
does
can survive
when
out of
does the heartbeat arrive?
18
17
days after
days or something?
17 days?
Yeah.
after conception. Yeah.
You get that early?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Haven't you seen? Oh no, you don't live in Minnesota. You don't get to see all of these pro-life
Billboards.
billboards everywhere.
Yeah, no. Okay, so when can you, like, when do the lungs form? Aren't they like one of the last, right?
That I don't know.
I think that's
That I
one of
don't.
the last, yeah. I
Head
mean,
case. Get on it.
I mean, listen, I believe everybody has the right to choose, right? You can choose if you want to have an abortion. You can choose if you don't want to have an abortion. I mean, either way, look, there's two other alternatives to abortion, right? It's either ill-equippedly, if that's a word, raise a child, right? You're not financially, emotionally, whatever, stable enough to raise the child. Then you have your other option is to, drop it off at a hospital or a firehouse or a police station and give it up, right?
Right.
So when you're struggling with those options, and at some point or another, if your option is adoption, well, now you have this child that's in the world that you had, physically, maybe saw it, maybe held it, and you gave it away, and then you wonder, oh, well, what about this? What about that? You still wonder those same things after you have an abortion, right? I mean, I can't imagine that a woman doesn't wonder them, So it's a tough decision in general, whatever the circumstances that led to that decision. So Tyler, to answer your question, I think I would be less comfortable with an abortion after 4 months into the pregnancy, because I think, like around 4 months, 5 months, it really starts almost to become,
Take shape.
yeah, something, you know. But I mean, if you're 6 months along and the baby's not gonna, there's like a very slim chance the baby's gonna survive, and then, or you have to make some kind of decision. Well, if it's the mother's life or the child's life, which life are we gonna save? You know, it's. I mean, everything has, you have pros and cons to the whole thing, and I think that the whole decision is a tough decision, and we don't need people shaming other people and for doing it. We just don't.
Right. They may be going through some stuff on their own
Right.
regarding that decision. I mean, that's like shaming somebody who had a miscarriage, or which would be God's abortion, really.
Wow. Okay.
What?
Nothing.
If you believe in God and you believe that
Yeah.
a child is a gift from God, yep, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't agree with the whole shaming thing, and people stay. It's that decision is for hopefully most is hard enough. It's tough enough to make that choice and that decision.
And it's painful too. It's painful to the mother. It's
Yeah.
not something that you just go in and they, for a lack of a better way to say it, they suck it out and it's gone. It's there's pain involved in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should
Took a dive, didn't it?
Yeah, so Planned Parenthood, huh?
Yeah.
No, the thing is though, like these Christians that, and the right, and all of these people that go around and saying, "Listen, we've said it a million times, and I'll say it 1,000,001 times. I'll say it 10 million times. Believe what you want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine, and you absolutely have the right, if you want to stand outside of an abortion clinic and peacefully protest what's going on inside. Yes, you have that right. That right is afforded to you under the Constitution of the United States of America. But in the long run, just like you don't want people to pass judgment on you for your beliefs, or maybe the fact that you say you're a Christian and you don't act like a Christian, then you shouldn't be passing judgment on. Let he without sin be the first
Cast the
to
first stone.
cast the first stone. Really, I mean, come on. If you're going to say you're a Christian and you believe in these things, live it. Just don't. I don't understand. Again, I can't understand. I can't believe that I'm asking these same questions. Why is it so hard for people to just let other people live and just be? I don't understand why it's so hard. Judge silently, because the more you judge somebody else, you're going to have to answer to your God, and your God may say, well, you didn't do what I told you to do, so guess what? You're going to go with my fallen brother.
Oh, Jerry's rant. Jerry's rant.
I just,
And you said you can't rant, please.
Anything
Well,
else on this
well,
topic?
I'm just going to segue right into Mr. Joshua Feuerstein, who we've talked about.
Only once, but yeah, we've talked about him.
Yeah. Joshua Feuerstein, he's been talked about in a past episode. mentioned here or there. And that's really about it. But he came under fire once again because a video of that he posted back in July resurfaced that he ever so sneakily deleted after the tragedy that happened at the Planned Parenthood clinic, where he went into detail of what goes on in abortion clinics because apparently he's been there and he witnessed the events. Um, but he says that we should all go after the abortion doctors and make them run and hide. I'm paraphrasing the quote, but basically what he's trying to say is that people should go after abortion doctors in a violent way. So they run and hide because that's the only way I can think of someone wanting to run and hide because, hey, I want to shake your hand and give you a pat on the back, buy lunch. No, I'm going to hide. But Jerry, what do you got to say because you had your hand up?
Oh, you could see me because I don't know what the F is going on with my computer right now. So, as long as you can see me and hear me, fine with me.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure you're doing all right.
Because you guys are gone with the wind. There you are. Okay. You want my thoughts on this
Yes.
guy. All right. Well, I cannot stand Joshua Fierstein. I have a feeling that he might be. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He might be someone that we talk about a couple of times more before we decide we're not giving him any more airtime. Who knows? All right. But now, the video that is, and Tyler, if you don't have it, I'll give you the link to the article and we can put it. The video that's in that article has been edited. So that video of him,
And laying down in the bed.
yeah, it was edited to be what the video is. However, it's not edited very much. There's only a small portion of what he said missing somewhere in the middle, and I'm sure I can find. I almost don't want to link to the other guy's page that he had on YouTube where he had the full video because I commented on the one video that he made, and I put a link to our page.
Oh, that's right.
But he had like 57,000 views on that
Yeah.
video.
Promotion. Absolutely.
But then I watched some of his other videos and I was scared. I got scared. I almost didn't want to sleep that night. But
Of Joshua Fierstein?
no, this other guy.
Other guy. Okay. Sorry.
Tyler, I'll send you the links and you can decide if you want to, if you have time to look at them and you want to put them. But anyway, all right. Edited or not, okay? He said it.
Right.
You said it. And why was it okay for it to be up on July 29th and to stay up, and then all of a sudden on Friday or Saturday, whenever it was gone?
Yeah.
I mean, or is this just something that this guy does? Like, he puts a video up and then maybe he gets a little backlash from it and then takes it. Like, I don't understand.
That's exactly what he does. The minute that he comes under fire, he'll remove video. He did that. He did the same thing regarding another video, and I can't remember which one it was, but we talked about it. But yeah, that's what he does. And I've said this on a couple of threads, and I'll say it publicly here. Is that he, to me, is the 21st century Charles Manson. I know that is a stretch, but the guy's a psychopath.
Well,
He's got followers, and here's why I say he's Charles Manson, because Charles Manson didn't kill anybody. Charles Manson had followers, and this guy's got 2.8 million likes on Facebook, or 1.8, I can't remember the exact number, on Facebook alone, where people are liking and watching his stuff, and they're commenting in the hundreds on each thing that he posts. Amen, brother. Keep it up. We're praying for you. We're right there with you. That's pretty damn scary.
it is.
It's scary that this is the face of a Christ follower on the internet, where
Stop
he's not.
doing this with your hair. You look like a girl.
Well, I'm pretty.
Your
Um,
haircut's so bad.
no, I don't. We're derailing off my beauty. I get it, but um, but this guy isn't teaching peace. This is absolute hate speech on everything that he does.
Everything.
Every single thing in his aggressive tone, and that's his shtick. And when I think I was telling Matt this last night. My opinion is that he found his shtick. He found, this is my personality, and this is what works for to get me famous. I'm going to be so over the top that this is what is going to get me views. So I have to keep the momentum. The secret to success is definitely the greatest number of people, and that's what he's doing, and he is running with it.
What did Matt say? What was his opinion, if any, on Joshua Fierstein?
I think he said the guy's an idiot. I think he really didn't follow the guy. Our friend Cliff put a picture of him up. He was like, "Yeah, I think I've seen him on here before, around on the internet, just kind of scrolling through." And then he read a quote, and then he just went, "The guy's an idiot." The quote I just kind of paraphrased with, "We got to go after the doctors and make them run and hide." Of course, Matt, did say, it's like what we need to do is, preach the gospel, and that I respect, because Matt is a believer and Matt is a man of faith, but that is not the way to go with anything at all in a
But the
situation.
sad thing is that more and more, especially in this country, that is the way to go for people.
Right.
Like, they feel like the only way to be heard or to be recognized or to be newsworthy is to be more extreme, more radical.
Right.
Hence the reason why Donald Trump is leading the Republican primaries.
Maybe, yeah. And maybe that's because we don't get a lot of views, but guess what? We're not radical. We're just three guys that get together on a Thursday night and chat.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty rad.
Wearing a Mariah shirt.
That's true. Any final thoughts?
It's nice and comfy. And it feels so good.
Any final thoughts on
Stop being douchebags. You people. Believe what you want to believe.
Sorry.
Think how you want to think. But let people just live. Let them live. They're not hurting anybody. They're not doing anything to you. It's just a book. Get over it.
And shout out to Pat of the Bill. Anyway, Tyler, you have any final thoughts on this topic? Because I want to bring one more thing up very briefly. No?
Not really.
Okay, one more thing I want to bring up is tomorrow morning's daily news cover.
Actually, that was this morning's. It was actually from
this. Oh, it's from this morning.
Yeah, how do you have tomorrow's news?
Yeah.
Because
Well, they posted it. It's the link that I shared earlier today. They posted it last night as a preview for this morning's. I just found it today.
Yeah, so it's the today's cover. So my apologies.
Which, by the way, today is Thursday, December 3rd. So when this airs on Sunday, this would have been Thursday's cover.
Dave Grohl.
No, not Dave Grohl.
Yeah,
God, God isn't fixing this. I think it's a great cover. And when I saw that, I'm like, finally somebody said it. Finally, someone had the balls enough to say, I'm going to put this out there. And it's honest.
and it's what or a lot of the Republican, 4 of them actually, right?
Well,
Uh,
I'm sure all of them, they're just
no, a
forwarding on
couple
the
of them.
page.
Yeah, at Ted Cruz twittered, "Our prayers with the victims, their families, and the first responders in San Bernardino." That was the thing that happened yesterday, right?
Yeah.
With the at the mental institution
It's not a mental
or with
institute.
the disabled people.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought they were mentally disabled.
No.
Rand Paul, my thoughts and prayers are with the victims, families, and brave first responders. Oh, it's almost the same as Ted Cruz's. Lindsey Graham, thoughts and prayers are with hashtag San Bernardino. Paul Ryan.
Just to give everybody an idea, because you guys just
Just
started
keep the
talking
victims of
about
hashtag
this.
San Bernardino in your prayers.
Uh, yeah. Yeah, and I love I like the bottom. The latest batch of innocent
Where'd you go?
Americans are left lying in pools of blood. Cowards who only truly end gun scourge continue to hide behind meaningless platitudes. I thought that was the greatest middle finger ever to this, because people really need to wake up too.
Well,
And
yeah,
say,
because we're so tired of having this conversation or not having this conversation.
right.
Because I saw something else on Facebook today where, and I'm sure it was a semi-serious news story, but in Australia, they banned guns 20 years ago, and everybody lives happily. Nobody cares. 10.5 out of 100,000 for every 100,000 people in this country, 10.5 of them are killed by gun violence.
Yeah, well, see, Matt said to me the opposite thing. There's a couple small towns, one in Texas and one somewhere else. I can't remember which other town he said, but the small towns, it's actually mandatory for every citizen to be armed. And the police are actually bored because they have nothing to do but to write citations for, let's say, speeding or parking or seatbelt violations or texting and driving.
We go 7 miles from my house, and that's how it is.
There's this
Like,
town that's
yeah,
armed.
no, the police are bored.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they have, I guess, I think 3 policemen for every one person that lives in the town. Maybe I'm making that up, but,
Yeah.
there's there's nothing that goes on in the town. It's a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit on the main road, you know, and you go down, down towards the, into Camden, and you have the National Guard as the
Right.
police force because they don't have any police.
Right.
It's just,
So yeah, I just wanted to bring that front page news thing up.
You
Just
wanted to
because,
get me on this conversation as we're trying to wrap up the show.
no, because it was fresh news.
Now, who's the D-bag?
Me, I drive a Prius. Be the first to admit it.
Tyler? Got nothing?
This is a whole nother episode.
Okay.
Yeah. Lock and load. See you next week. Bye.
Pull!
That's skeet shooting.
Still a gun.
It's still a gun, but you're
Still
not going
locking and loading.
It's true, but you don't say that in the inner city like lock and load. Pull.
You also don't say lock and load.
No, they just say I'm a
They say
busted
lock-
cap in your ass.
Yeah, they say lock and load in the military. Or in Saving Private.
Fade out, Tyler. Fade
Good night,
out
everybody.
before we look like idiots.
I didn't mean to say that.
Thank you for watching Positively Godless. Look at the links below or in the screen or wherever they are. And talk to us. Bye. Stupid.
What? That was awful.
It's still recording.
Okay. Do you get a catheter when you have hernia surgery?
Hi, Muffin. Quick question. Are they going to put a catheter in when I have my surgery? No. Okay, thank you. Bye, Muffin. Love you. Okay, good. No. When Google's got a question, they Elsa it. Hey, everybody, welcome to this week's Hey, everybody, welcome to this. Hey, everybody, welcome to this week's God damn it.
You didn't help me out.
Yes, I did.
No, it's still in my pants. This week on
There's-
Positively Godless. We talk about stuff.
Like,
Bye, see you later.
what?
No.
That's stupid.
No. You can't do that.
Can't have that.
What did you say?
You can't
Yeah,
have
tap
that.
that. That's
I
your problem.